Okay, so what we're going to look at here is Virtuoso's library checkpoints. So we know that previously you can use checkpoints to be able to break your test up into individual capabilities. For instance, we could add a checkpoint to do the login steps and then put the login steps in natural language. Do the same for things like create an account or create contacts to break apart your journey, your test into different stages. Where previously you could definitely share your checkpoints. So you could, at the end of a checkpoint, you could create a new journey from that point. So this could be your journey 2, which would share the checkpoint. Now that was good, but it was limited in as much as you could only do it within a goal, and you had to do it from the point at which the checkpoint had been created. So if there were already 5 checkpoints, you would create a journey stemming from those first 5 checkpoints. So what we've done now is introduce what we call library checkpoints. So a good example here is I'm going to write my login steps in a checkpoint, as I've just done there. So here's one I prepared earlier. So now I've created my checkpoint, which is for logging in. Now the great thing here is that, of course, previously we could then branch a new journey. So this could be my journey 3, and you could see that I could come in and I could start from the point of having logged in. But actually now what we've done, if I go back to the first journey here and run this, what I can do now is actually say I want to put that into a library. So by clicking on the 3 dots here, I could add to the checkpoint library. And now what you'll see is this has gone purple. And basically now what I can do is create and add that checkpoint into any journey I like within the project. So it's going beyond the goal view. So for example here, let's say I wanted to create, this is on actually Dynamics 365. I go to my project dashboard, I create a new goal, and this is my goal 2. So a brand new goal. I come in here, I know that I already have login steps for Dynamics 365. So now what I can do is come to the library checkpoint and I see I've got my login steps. I add those and it adds my login steps in straight away. So, and the nice thing here as well is you're not restricted to where those can be added in. You can put that absolutely anywhere in the flow and you can add it multiple times. So then what I've done in the background, I've set up some additional library checkpoints, and you see I've given them titles. So now I can go through and simply say if I want to open then the Sales Enterprise module, then I could add that in, which goes then and puts the steps in, which I previously created and saved to the library to open up Sales Professional. I could then do things like I'm going to go to the accounts. So then that will go and add those steps. I could come in and add the ones for going to contacts and similarly opportunities. So you can start to see how I'm really quickly composing my automation. Now note that these have all got a little padlock next to them. And that's because these checkpoints, these library checkpoints, can be used across different journeys, of course. So if I were to go and make changes, then they would still go across all of those others that make the change. So I would only do this, then it gives us the warning here. Do you want to update this? If I want to and make the change, it will propagate across all of the journeys that share that library checkpoint. I can remove it by clicking the 3 dots, so I can remove it from the journey. But also let's say that I wanted now to use that as the basis, but I want to modify it without impacting other journeys. Then I could detach from the library checkpoint, which will simply just add the steps in. And now if I make changes, it's not going to impact where this is shared. And you'll see here, for instance, this one, the little library checkpoint symbol has got a 2. That's telling me that this is shared across 2 different journeys. So it's used in 2 places. So this helps me understand, for instance, this one, if I made changes, it's not going to impact anywhere. This will impact another journey. And actually in the library checkpoint, I can see it's been used in other journeys. So it gives me visibility. So again, it's just going to be a really easy way to start building common steps, saving them to a checkpoint, and then composing automation really quickly from those library checkpoints, including then I could get to a certain point, for instance, the opportunities, and then start building out a normal checkpoint, which could be to add opportunity, for example. And the great thing is, again, these can all be used within a project. So again, if I come back and I'm going to take the URL, I'm going to go back to the project dashboard, create a new goal, put in my URL, and let's call this my test dynamics, brand new goal. When I create and add that, then I still get access into those same library checkpoints. So I could go, let's do the login steps. In this one, I'm going to do the launch the CRM, but then this one I'm focused on opportunities. Let's build a flow out using those. Really quick to be able to build those out. And again, when this runs, even if I'm running on a new environment, then Virtuoso still does things like identify the element in that environment So it's not linked to just the selectors obtained for a previous run of the test. So that's Virtuoso's library checkpoints.